And I'm ill, not sick, but I'm okay. So let's watch Sick.
Ooh.
How do we feel about that, guys? We're going into
Trace Little Wayne's
Liquid.
this.
Nah, relax, stunner. But anyway, we're going into Liquid and Misfits. Now, guys, before we get there, I think it's very important that we tell the audience at home who are the players for each of these teams. And with that being said, I believe we're going to load up the Misfits lineup first. That will be the first roster that we're looking at. Sean Gare, Sick, Devo Duvek, and Amanek. Now, we can't leave Shazam out of there. Equally, if not the most important person to try to be activated over on the Misfits side in terms of bringing a W into this team. Let's go ahead and switch now to the Liquid and look at what they're working on as well. We do note their AWP are in JDM64, followed by Nitro, Stanislaw, Twist, and Elige. Now, guys, head-to-head, pound for pound, who's walking into this one with a bigger fist?
Liquid's walking with bigger fist, armor, and a full spear to kind of go through them. I think Misfits is going to, you know, try their best. I feel like I'm a Little League coach. Hey, guys, listen, go out there, try to hit some balls. And hopefully they go.
Have some fun.
Past,
we'll have some orange
you know,
slices
obviously
after.
friends with you know, the Misfits guys, and I love them. And they've actually shown a lot of flashes of brilliance. And I think, you know, losing to Luminosity the other day in the minor qualifier might have hurt their confidence a little bit. I think Liquid just coming in overall with more structure, more confidence, and a little bit more drive behind their play. I think Misfits, if Shazam shows up, they could make things interesting. Sick, great player. Amanek on those lurks. Devo making crazy shots. Sean Gare's maybe out calling them. There is a possibility here, guys, but it's
this one's gonna get wet.
Well, things are probably,
okay,
you know, yeah, things are gonna get a little liquidy, as we might say. Look, we're going into Overpass, where the pipes, especially the long B pipe, probably hasn't been cleaned in a while. And with that being said, when we look at Overpass, what can we expect in terms of show out for either team?
Liquid's pretty comfortable on it, seeing that it is Overpass and there is a lot of sewage areas that...
Let's load up the Betway odds. Let's just see what the numbers say, because the numbers don't lie. By any means. Liquid, obviously the favorite going into this one. We say that they have their armor on, they have their big spear. But can Misfits make an impact here on an Overpass?
Yes.
No.
All right. Well, outstanding analysis there. Couldn't ask for much more. In fact, I didn't ask for any more.
Right?
We're going to give it over very gently.
Let's
to
pour this
Blue and
liquid
Launders.
into this cup, guys.
Blue and Launders, please. Please,
don't
by
get
all
too
means,
crazy.
take it away.
Make some sense out of this.
Thank you very much.
I've never seen so many half puns in my life.
Well, it's time to go back into Counter-Strike here for a little bit, as we are going to be jumping into Overpass for our second match of the evening. Misfits taking on Team Liquid. Let's get some predictions on the board. Is there a chance for Misfits, or is this going to be shut down for Liquid here?
I think Liquid are going to undermine Misfits Overpass.
All right. Well, getting past that, let's jump right into it here and see what Team Liquid have to show us here as they start off on their CT side. And Misfits get to jump right into the fire on the T side. Starting it off, actually, it's going to be a very slow push for Misfits. They just move 3 players into steps. 2 more are going to lurk their way out through Playground here momentarily, too. Liquid do have players pushed out to challenge this, but they're not directly in the fight here, so it's going to take a second. And yeah, Elige is caught off Twist with a great trade, though. Immediately taps on a Devo to eliminate him and brings it back down to a 4v4. Now JDM's going to go back in. There's great timing on the push. He's able to find one. He is trapped right now, but Twist is helping him bail out of the situation, as now he can take on Shazam. Normally Shazam's great on these pistol rounds, but this time she gets deleted by JDM, and just like that, it's all down to Sick. At least he has the bomb, but in a 1v4, this is going to be looking rough for him. We'll see what he can piece back together. Moving to look for that trade kill into JDM at least, and he gets that. Catches him at a nice angle. But the other 3 are now safely tucked away on the sites, so winning there is going to be a little bit more tough.
I like Misfits' approach to T-side pistols on most maps. They spend a lot of time clearing out things safely and then congregate towards the site, and they do it properly, where they even had people initially go to bathrooms with a couple in stairs, but didn't leave long uncontested. In fact, went back to pick that up as well, but Liquid were pretty happy to see a kind of stair setup. A lot of nice shots being hit, and the final one from Stanislaw to close the round out. But overall, I think Liquid posted up with 3 people in bathrooms. Were happy to take those duels. I think Misfits still could have won, provided they had a little bit more fortune with their timings and maybe anticipated that there were more Liquid players sitting and setting up there. But overall, pretty good round from both teams, except for Misfits, except for the fact that Misfits weren't able to get a plant off, which would have been a big deal for them. Half armor on a few, full on a couple, and upgraded pistols on all of Misfits players as they move into round 2. Stairs control once again. A couple of players out towards balloons, it might seem like they're going to work towards. And Liquid in a pretty familiar setup as well.
JDM essentially just sitting back on the inside, waiting for this. He's got Elige support if they try to come short. He gets flashed, however, so JDM is currently alone right here, as Elige is actually going to fall back inside. JDM spamming in, gets one, tries to peek for a second, but goes down there, and Elige runs out of ammo, almost at perfect timing, just as soon as Sick ends up peeking into the bathrooms themselves. There's still one player waiting at the site in the second, quickly rotating up from B, as this is very much going to turn into an A hit in a second. But for whatever reason, it's taking Misfits a long while to kind of work up the courage to actually push up onto the site, and that is going to let Team Liquid set up and essentially shut this down, as now they're down to just 2 players alive. Liquid has the man advantage again, having a little bit of trouble locking down the headshot there against Stan, but that'll also allow Sick to roll in. He gets one more kill, but is then taken down by Nitro.
I'm in two minds about that round for Misfits, because on the one hand, they got 2 kills in bathrooms, but because it wasn't bathrooms, they weren't right up in the site. They had to maybe respect that the rotates were going to come in, and they saw that one person was there, so decided we had the man advantage. We picked up a couple guns. We have a couple smokes that we were planning to use after we cleared out bathrooms to execute on A4. So why don't we sit back for a second and use those? But it was actually a moment where Liquid only had 1 person on A. That was a good opportunity to get in the site. Instead, they had to go up against kind of a double stack defense, even though they had a really good start.
Lee's just running away right now, so he's able to spin around, get 2 kills in the process of falling back, so it makes it work really well. The nade as well, almost 100 damage nades. Devo Duvek gets hit for 80 instead, and Sean very close by. Just not a whole lot they're going to be able to do. I think they're essentially just camping right now, hoping someone gets over aggressive, and they're right about that, but they still kill them anyway. A second nade comes in to finish off Devo, and obviously, as you saw, JDM pushes right into Sean's face. 2
grenade kills and a couple of MP9 kills means that Liquid made quite a bit of money. Misfits are going to be buying up, and again, don't have plants to show for it, even though they had a couple of opportunities there in these previous 2 rounds. Or more specifically, that second round, which would have benefited them greatly. Thinking about their utility and their remaining income, we'll get off to the hot 3-0 start, and because they didn't lose anybody last round, are not going to be upgrading their MP9s. Instead, they're going to try to recycle them, and this is what's commonly being known as a bonus round.
And a chance for Team Liquid to really secure their advantage, especially if they can win it here. Or at the very least, keep the money low for that T side. Almanac will start it off well, though, as Twist tries to push into him. He will get dinked, but it's only down to 27 HP. And Almanac's able to manage that, getting the first kill. Now it's Devo Duvek's turn more than likely here, as he's going to try to push forward through the lower tunnels, as you expect 2 players to be here. They're going to get pushed from top side, too. They focus entirely on that, but Liquid still comes out on top with the 2-1 trade. It is left to a 3v3, though, when you consider the earlier kill that Misfits did get at the hands of Devo Duvek, or excuse me, Almanac back over at the entrance to Monster.
Very important there that Elige gets out of stairs, and he does so after making sure that there isn't anybody else left to trade, picks up a good gun, then finds his way back in a B. This is common to do on CT side. Now, it's dangerous when you don't have short control, but when you've seen so many people splitting stairs, you don't really have that many options besides getting aggressive at one of those 2 choke points or trying to make your way back into a site with at least a teammate close by. Now here's Nitro jump spotting from the A site, but he doesn't have much support. They're going to spot him. They know where he is. They want to close in on him.
Smokes will go in and try to force Nitro out, and they do succeed in doing that, but he takes another kill along the way, knocking out Sean this time. So it's left down to a 3v2 with Liquid in control of the man advantage, but you have to work a little bit more for this retake, and we're going to see the first bit of smokes getting tossed over the top now. They assume that it's gone into the safe plant position. They're partially right about that. And as the smoke moves in, that is going to force Almanac to move a little bit more forward here. Shazam playing it semi-ready to take duels versus these players. Gets the first one on Elige. And they know where he's at, but it's still not a great job here being done by Liquid to try and clear him out. There we go. Finally, they eliminate him. Almanac left alone here now with 15 HP, but he also has the 2 remaining. CT's very low, but misses the spray opportunity to take both of them down there. And that will leave it open for Liquid to win it out. Now 4-0.
There's a good chance there for Misfits to close that out. The flash wasn't as effective as it should be, but it's nice to see that Liquid were taking all the necessary precautions and trying to flash him in that 2v1. And I think it maybe off-put him a little bit, getting some like semi-blind. Sometimes even when it doesn't have the full effect on you, it still throws you off a little bit, and that can be all you need. But apart from that, just being an expensive round for Misfits, it's also just straight up a round win for Liquid on a bonus round, so they have all this money left over. Cool smoke from Sean Gares, very fast setup to help him take bathrooms control. Elige's going to fall back through it. tries to abuse it, but Sean's lined that up to perfection. There's not going to be a gap here for Unleashed to get any more information. He is the only one also in the bathrooms, pushed up, and has a teammate on the fallback that can kind of watch for this long presence, but it looks like a pretty powerful A-split coming out, yeah.
Six just going to roll right outside here, and Liege as well, messing up on the spray. So there we go. That's pretty much the entire A site being cleared out here. Very clean entry coming out from the Misfits. Molly is going to kill Sick, unfortunately, but he got the bomb down at least, and it's still a 4v3, so they're probably not too upset about his loss at this point in time, as Liquid aren't being presented with any good options to retake. They only have one smoke, actually, in order to get back into this site with, and especially considering it's planted on the T side of Dicebox again, it's really going to be rough. This is a very rough retake in general for teams to do, especially with minimal utility and, you know, obviously a man disadvantage they now have to play with. Shazam knocks out one. They'll be trading that. Nitro pushing forward, though, catches a still blind Sean Garris, and now they've evened it back down to a 2v2. Nitro, he's going to be hit, but he is able to give himself an opportunity to realign. Now Stan is going for the Hail Mary defuse. I don't think they realize it either, and yep, Stan just sneaks in the defuse entirely, and then goes out to get one more kill to top it all off, and the final one as well against Shazam.
Oh my god. And not only was that a round win for Liquid, even though Misfits didn't realize that he had actually stuck the bomb defuse, but they lose all of their players, and fortunately for them, because of the plat, they can buy again, but full round loss in Liquid, winning that round by the skin of their teeth. Super clutch plays, and as you were talking about, you know, they did that fast strat. They hung on to most of their utilities, so they had a lot left in the post plan as well. Tons of advantages moving into the later portion of that round, and they still couldn't close it.
So very well done, specifically for Stanislav there towards the end of the round. He closes it out, and he's going to go right back into fighting here. It's a little bit too far in the open for him, though, so he's only able to go 1-for-1. Twist makes up for it immediately, picks up another kill, gives them back the advantage, but he's also going to go down to Sick this time. Now Nitro takes the position at pit ramp. He'll get one more kill. Does he realize Sean's wrapping? Sean, I don't think, realizes that he's as far out, though. So Nitro now going to be able to get one more kill before going down, this time against Shazam. Sean will finally take him out, but Sean's low and getting hit by that nade certainly doesn't help his case. He's at 7 HP. Stuck in a 1v2. Looks like he's going to try to sneak away and head up towards A really quickly. And he should be able to succeed in doing that, but the second he plants it, he has to very quickly find a safe position to play off of.
I like that Sean that knows he's pushed this far, so at this point he's better off just trying to run to get the pen, have as much time as he possibly needs to not only get the bomb down, but find an ideal spot. Now that he knows that they have played 2B, he is actually going to play long. I'm not sure about this, because if you play it standard, you risk taking any damage. It means you have to hit your first bullet in your headshot. He's not in a position to try to catch anyone off guard, per se. The rotate actually wasn't that long, and they still got a bunch of utility and are clearing everything out together. Also know that the bomb has been planted here, so... Oh, coming out to peek him, but not getting the kill. That's interesting.
And we do see JDM getting onto the bomb here now. He can try to defuse it from that position, but he's going to wait for Sean to swing out. Sean just destroys him anyway. And what a way for Misfits to get onto the board. A 1v2 from Sean with only, I think, 7 HP left over towards the end of that round.
What a dope play. Good call out, and yeah, the push through CT. Immediately knowing, recognizing, okay, it's a low HP, I've got to do something crazy. Goes through spawn, recognizes I've got to go get this bomb down fast. Kind of doubted that he'd be safe in that long position with such low HP, but he made that first bullet headshot work, and then from the 1v1, played it to perfection.
And despite the dominance early on from Team Liquid, the close rounds are going to cost them. As you can see, they're very quickly put into a 4-spot situation. Not a single player is able to afford an M4 on the rebuy here. They end up with 2 MP9s, 2 FAMASs, and an AWP on a JDM. Leash has a good position with that MP9. Unfortunately, he's just not able to do as much damage with that at range, so it only tags Shazam for about a quarter of his health when he gets caught there.
Huge round, actually, for Liquid to lose, as we can see. Economically, are not doing too good. 2 MP9s. Not because it's a bonus round, it's because it's all they can get. Some damage dealt, relatively passive setup. Interesting for the MP9 to be re-aggressing in this position, but now that he's made his way into bathrooms, he's a whole different threat, and they have also got a teammate to follow up with support. Are they going to rely on a flash here?
2 teammates, actually. Flash in, destroys the Liege, makes him look the wrong way, or it makes him dodge it, rather. Oh, they actually catch JDM partially there, too, through the wall. So that's going to hold him back a little bit more and give away his position. He'll smoke that off, and Stan actually ends up walking right past him. Sick will get the kill. Stan, I think, was hoping a few more would end up coming through, but he'll take the double kill anyway. As Shazam jumps in just a little bit too late to the party there. Stan will catch him, at least keeps things even over here at A-Long. Now tries to swing in with the up, but it's a missed shot.
No, he got it.
Oh, he did actually get it. Wow, okay, I didn't realize that. Sean takes him down on the trade, but with that one kill that he does pick up on the op, it brings it down to a 2v2.
That was such a nice play from Stanislav, and if Sick didn't turn around briefly, I think he would have just waited even longer to lock down that first kill, but this brings this team to a 2v2 with 10 seconds left. They've got to rush the site. Nitro, a lot of pressure on him. Strong Gears tries to clear close right, but there's no time to plant. All the CTs have to do is run.
That's exactly what Twist is going to do. He didn't really have to do anything, actually. Just sat down there on B site and waited the timer out. As unfortunately, Amanek will just have to grab the op and run.
They should definitely buy behind this op. Liquid lost lost 9 players in the last 2 rounds. Are going to be having a similar buy to the one they had last time. At Misfits have an op, they have an opportunity to steal back the reset, and whoever wins this round can potentially get 3 in total for free.
So they do decide to buy behind it. They do have that extra firepower coming in to a certain degree. They actually end up with a little bit more because they have that op, but Liquid still end up with better utility though, so that's going to be the big kicker here. JDM though being overwhelmed very quickly. He needs to escape this position. He has a Liege to support, but he has an MP9 too, so it's just MP9s across the board primarily for Liquid, and they have 2 FAMASs. Nitro moves in, actually spots Debo for free, and there we go, gets the kill. Now takes on a second. It's a little bit rough to make it work, but they get it done, and it's in a much cleaner fashion this time too. Look at it, all 4 of these initial kills going towards Team Liquid. Only leaves Shazam alive, and he's up against impossible odds.
The most difficult part about this is just wanting to save this op. This would be a really big save, but with so much time left and the fact that Liquid have 5 players alive, they might go hunting pretty soon. They may not know that they recovered this op, and I'm not sure if Shazam took a shot, but they still might go search for him in spite of that. And they know that Misfits forcing up only had maybe 1 or 2 really good guns. Started to search for those, and as the time ticks down, it is kind of sketchy. Misfits, I think, took a very understandable risk in a situation where they would have not had enough money to buy an op, at least for another 2 rounds if they saved.
But at the end of the day, it is going to go over to Team Liquid here, and Shazam essentially just sitting back, hoping someone tries to push from Monster, and then he can punish that, at least dropping a few of these guns here that Team Liquid managed to take into this round. He should have seen that player jumping over, so he'll lurk back a little bit now over here towards the steps position. He himself was not spotted, however, I don't believe anyway.
Uh-oh.
They are getting very close, so he'll smoke that off. He'll go up over here towards the top tunnels. Might align pretty well, actually, but oh, he looks away. He's going to pinch himself, and he doesn't even realize it just yet. And not staying in these positions for long enough. The timer's expired. He's no longer going to get money. If he dies, they push him, and it's Nitro that swings out and destroys him.
Dude, I'm not sure if that smoke made it easier for him to find, but I think after he missed the jump, thought that he was heard. And here's Twist playing that really well, throwing the smoke down super late, pushing them and killing them in the smoke. But yeah, not only loses the op, but it's all his money. Oh my gosh, this is the worst.
$50 going into this round. So he can't buy anything at all. So Misfits just going to train down to lower tunnels really quickly, see if they can try to take at least connector control just by purely overwhelming anybody that's inside of here. With a 2-man setup, however, I'm not entirely confident that it will work. Liege just jumping into the arena and calling in Stanisol for the assist when he runs out of ammo.
Oh, that is the worst possible way to end that round as well. So many MP9 kills means that Liquid have already stabilized their economy. Didn't lose a single person, no rebuys out. Well, maybe a couple of upgrades, but the cost of MP9s just don't cost very much. And yeah, just like all those MP9 kills in the previous round, all the MP9 kills on this one, it adds up, man. It really does.
Well, we do see a buy coming out from Misfits. Full buy for everyone, including Shazam. He does have to downgrade it to a scout, however, because of him dying post-timer 2 rounds back.
It does kind of look like an op, I guess.
Oh, what?
Okay, I think that one really looked like an op.
So JDM is going to be able to go right over top of it. Apparently he didn't see those players on top of the smoke, so that first kill going by the way of JDM here. They gotta be a little bit careful though, because they can easily get pressured and those kills can get traded back. JDM takes 1 more with him before he goes down, however. It's Sick that finally knocks him out of the fight. But they get a lot from that 1-2 trade.
And they fall back to safe positions. Liege with low HP will just hightail it out. Stan also recovered the op. That's pretty big.
Yep. Twist was able to spot Amanek though too, so his initial push has failed and he loses 80 HP as an answer to it. So he's not going to be down very, very low. Same for Sick, obviously, from the earlier play. And the only one that's left at really full HP is going to be Debo, who's currently winning at the very top of the connector steps.
Who is it that Misfits took the 2-0 loss to? So they also lost to Rise Nation 2-0 in the qualifier, which is also a pretty ginormous upset. Might have been Luminos, I don't know.
I don't know, yeah. You can see the smokes coming out now. They're going to try to go for just a straightforward A execute here. Up to the site, Stan already taking down 1 of them. second. Elige, ooh, actually wants to wrap back there because could have had Omnic dead to right. Stan will manage it for him, though. He moves in, takes out Omnic very quickly, and finds the last one, too. Nicely done from Stan. Gets, I think, all three, yeah. Gets all three of those last kills there, so manages the site push on his own and shuts down the remaining play for the Misfits there.
It's both been a series of unfortunate events for Misfits and fortunate events for Liquid. Stan making some critical plays and recovering that off, getting the kills that he did here. Being pretty aware, and yeah, just such a huge lead right now for Liquid. Probably a well-timed pause for Misfits as they go over their tactics. And what's interesting is we've seen a couple of really good plays. Like their fast B hit seemed pretty nuts. Their fast A play as well, where they cleared out stairs and then bathrooms and then went back to long and pushed. I think Sick came out long, killed Elige, killed JDM, both with his one push. That seemed really hard to deal with any team that wasn't going to go for an initial long setup, which is one of the rarer setups to use. That seemed to make a lot of sense. But from there on out, it was basically a game of economy. Misfits have had a ton of rounds where they just haven't had money to buy.
Yeah, now we're looking to recover themselves here. We're not seeing enough of those fast plays that actually work out too well, and obviously we're not going to see that again here on the 11th round since they do have to eco once more. P250s, Deagles, very, very light bots. 6th the only player with armor so far. Actually, Omnic buys into it there at the last second, so he'll have armor too, but overall, another very weak buy, and we've seen Liquid tear these to shreds multiple times already. So unless they change up their playstyle in these rounds, that might just happen again. And Liquid has the aggressive presence just to do that. Elige up over here at the exit towards a long. Actually doesn't miss the initial shot. JDM comes out on top though with his first peek. The Molly's going to do some great primer damage, and JDM's even able to help with that as he now pushes back out with the pistol in hand. He closes out on the last kill, and like I said before, once again, it's just Liquid kind of tearing it to shreds.
What's their money like? Yeah, they're one round away from just being all over 10K. It's enormous. Another round win, 5 alive, all the guns they needed. Barely used any utility. Round ends in the first like 20 seconds, right?
Yeah. Perfect into eco.
Jeez.
They only need 2 players to manage it too. No one went down from Liquid, so it's great for them to build up the money. Full buy now coming back in for Misfits. We would hope this pause would have given them a little bit of something new to play with here, but let's find out and see if it's going to change up at all. They do smoke out the steps initially. Oh, we've seen this before. Elige also right at the gates of A long. JDM once again successful at the party peak. He's going to be pressured very quickly after that, but they can time the push from Elige so as to counteract that. Works out perfectly. They get 2 kills right at the start. And now if they want to, they can fall back. But actually, I think they're going to stay up here since they have this much of a lead now. Stanislaw even fighting Devo Duvek because they have the boost ups. I think they caught him trying to go out connector. Everything is falling apart again for Misfits here, and they don't really seem to be able to do much to stop it.
You got to assume that any team would be tilted at this point just after the series of events that have unfolded. And then for Liquid to not only have an aggressive A play, but also a boost in B, can really just put someone over the edge.
Shazam going to be swinging around here, quickly looking for a path over towards bathrooms at least, but there we go. Finally one pickup from them, and he's able to take down Elige. However, he's now so low. He will go up against an Alper next, so the HP doesn't really matter, but JDM will take him down anyway. Now leaving only Omnic alive in a 1v4. He still has most of his important utility, though. He's got the smoke and the molly at least, but the smoke, okay. Just tosses that right back down to the bottom of long. And the molly, I don't think he's going to use it on the initial entry. He's not even going to get a chance, though. Nitro just comes swinging out, immediately headshots him, and it's now 11-1 in the favor of Team Liquid.
All facets from Liquid incredibly on point right now. And yeah, this is just the boost where you just sit and watch for things, and Devo Duvek tried to approach it slowly, but Liquid are covering every possible avenue of interest.
Who opened the door, though? Or did they blow it open?
That's a good question. Yeah, they might have.
You would think that if it was a CT or as a T, you would be a little more cautious if you didn't open the door. But apparently not.
You see feet first, though. So.
That's true, yeah. Maybe no one knows it. Elige is going to this time just push directly forward. He's going to be able to take down Devo there. So once again, Liquid off to a nice hot start here. Showing what?
I was going to say a high sense hero with pinpoint precision.
Not showing any signs of slowing down, as well as they have a pretty good stack outside of Monster, where it looks like Misfits are going to try to push next. So Liquid just kind of reading in all facets of Misfits' play so far.
Double ops, really nice for A, where even from the site you can watch all the way down long, all the way in through bathrooms to nearly the stairs from just that default box, which we can see JDM kind of doing. And that allows your B players to have a lot of peace of mind and stay much more focused on their side of the map. 48 seconds as Misfits decide now to rocket back to the A site, but they've got a lot to clear and a few smokes to use, but no flashes to complement them and a bunch of players to kill.
So they at least move away from Monster and away from that potential death setup that was inside of B there that could have just destroyed them again. So they might actually have a chance to make a successful take happen this time. That just that has been a task for Misfits too. It hasn't been winning rounds, it's been just getting onto the site. Making plants to start this off, and Liquid will promptly, after being smoked off, well, they'll begin to molly things to try and hold this back and buy time for any potential rotates. They haven't been provided with any intel, however, that would suggest this is full-on going to be an A hit. So their rotators from B need to be on point. Out of the A defenders need to be ready. 1 for 1 so far. It's not that great, actually, for Liquid. Almanac finds both of the entry kills. Stan, along with Nitro, both moving back in for some kills, but Sean, with a forward position, shuts it down. But they did not leave themselves enough time to plant, so the bomb won't even end up going down. Liquid holds long enough in order to take the timer down to 0, and that will still be their round.
Another tough position as, yeah, look at the conviction in that shot. Boom. Devaduvek had him. But another tough position where Misfits can get 3 rounds maximum. Sean Garcia is an AK, but the rest of their team only has like 3,400 apiece. They've got to decide whether or not they want to buy. Oh, wow.
Finally,
oh, that's good. Yeah.
Being outwitted there. He's been pushing a little bit too freely, one might say, for the past like 2 or 3 rounds now.
Comes with the territory, I suppose.
So at the least, they're able to get that going, so they finally get a first kill. There's no additional aggressive presence, though, so Liquid don't have to worry about losing anyone else for the time being. That might change, though, as Stan is starting to push up towards short bathrooms again, so depending on where Misfits want to send most of their players, he might meet a fight sooner or later here. It looks like, wow, look at that angle. Just a tiny little angle that he has there to spot Party. And what do you know, someone from Misfits ends up walking right into it. Perfect timing on that, too. Great stuff from Stan. And he almost hits another kill. He's going to actually swing out inside of the smoke. Doesn't realize there's someone hiding there initially, even though he takes the shot at it. Sean does reply with a kill on B in the meanwhile. And Shazam still looking for a route through bathroom or anyone that would push into it. They're not going to get that. And now the CTs have smoked out construction. The B players are unable to make anything happen until this starts to go away, or unless they want to challenge the smoke head on.
Yeah, they've actually used all their utility and the counter smoke comes out. The B players are here now, but there's one rotated in, and that means that I think your Heaven guy's going to have kind of an easy time opping.
Yeah, they just have to rotate JDM into it. It is 2 ops still sitting alive here, but with Stan watching construction, he could definitely pick targets off one by one, as they probably are going to come in a train fashion up into this site from construction here. You can see them pushing out towards it now. He gets the first one, does get traded later, but Twist now waiting here in pit. However, he's going to get taken care of by Sean. Nice little systematic clear there from Misfits, and it leaves this very palatable 1v, or at least this very palatable 3v1 for them. With JDM not looking at the best odds to clutch this, and eventually another round finally going up onto the board for Misfits. Game's going to push back out, misses that head angle there, or head shot angle. He's been presented with another one, realizes it, finally strikes Almanac in the chest, but then gets traded by Shazam a moment later. So finally another round for Misfits up on the board. Still a 2-12 scoreline, however, heading into the final round of the first half.
Yeah, on a desperately low buy and very little utility and the counter smoke to come out for what left they did have. They still managed to work their way into B. Good trades. They killed Stanislav 1 for 1, like gave him no opportunity to fall back after getting his op kill, and destroyed Twist, which you don't normally see him getting killed without getting a kill in B. But JDM absolutely no reason to save in that situation. Could just go looking to do damage. Oh, damn, okay. Another kill.
Devo makes the entry happen very quickly, coming back out from Monster there. He's able to pretty much destroy Twist. Now the rest of the team swarming to get control over B, and the CT's trying to wrap back down to hold that controller, quickly line themselves up for some sort of a retake here. Nitro waiting at CT. He's not going to be able to push back out, as that one kill pretty much secures the site. This is going to be very close quarters, however, going into the final bits of this retake, as it will be 4v5. Liquid will go for it since it's the last round, but they need to look for sort of an initiation kill to get themselves into the site to start off this retake to begin with. And they're not finding that right now. Misfits are doing a really good job of hiding themselves, despite how aggressive Team Liquid are now being. They'll now move in, and they just can't kill anyone at all. Finally, JDM gets one, but it doesn't matter, as they get melted in that final round. So finally, Misfits kind of coming alive towards the end of it, but they're still very, very far behind with a 12-3 scoreline established. It's looking good for Team Liquid. We'll have to see if they can hold on to it going into the second half, or if we will see a Misfits come back. Stick with us, guys, and the second half is coming up right after this.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And we're back again, folks. It's domination for the most part from Team Liquid here in the first half of Overpass between them and the Misfits. 12-3 is the scoreline coming out of it. Misfits winning the last 2 out of 3 rounds there, so they're able to take those at least, but still a very rough half for them leading up to that end point.
Yeah, they got 1 round off the back of a Sean Gears 1v2 that was pretty insane. Even in that round, obviously Liquid had tons of control, Sean down to like 10 HP, and then the rest of the half economically battered for most of the rounds, having to save quite often. Even on the round, Shazam ends up saving an optic kill in the last moment of the rounds on what was meant to be a save from like a minute straight, and then after that, they looked a little bit stronger in the last couple of rounds in the half. Obviously, getting those two back-to-back, pretty impressive stuff from Liquid. Spots of brilliance from Misfits, but for the most part, overshadowed by Liquid's dominance and their individual skills and great setups.
So we are going to see Team Liquid starting this off with a very fast movement over here towards Playground to get control there. Probably going to transition this into long as well. They are keeping Stand back in case anyone tries to push out from Party or over there towards Short, but Amanek is now going to spot in the long play. Sees all 3 of these guys moving in for control here. Not even going to challenge it. We'll just fall back promptly to the site. The same can be said of the Short players too, after seeing that many players moving into A that quickly. They're kind of getting ready in the event that they try to push towards long. That didn't happen. And now the fact that Sean is in his position is going to be great because he should be able to multi-frag, but no, is not even going to get a single kill. Elijah immediately takes him down on the way into the site. And the rest of the team is going to follow this up as they push back in. There's not a whole lot of presence established for the CTs here. Shazam, it's one nice shot off from the distance here, able to take down Elige. Still plenty more waiting, however. And oh, nice spot from Twist. Sees Amanek before he can strike up in heaven there, just outside of the smoke. Is able to catch him. Most of the CTs, in fact, I think all of them, are now stuck here at CT on the right or left side, and they're just slowly being turreted down by Liquid here. 6 able to get out and get 1 headshot for himself. You have the player in pit to worry about too. I don't even think they are aware of his presence yet. They are now, however, as he moves up. Gets the last 2 kills and secures it for Team Liquid as they're going to push on 13, winning the pistol.
Wow, and that might be it. Might be a quick close to this game after such a dominant half, even with Misfits showing that they still are in this. But they still have the firepower to win those rounds, and even on low buys, showed some good stuff. Nitro in that 2v1, helping his teammate out, taking a headshot angle on someone crossing. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. I came out of nowhere.
It's all good. Yeah, getting back into this next round here now. Obviously, Misfits have force spot to the highest degree that they can here, as they pretty much just have to do this for the rest of the match now and hope that they get lucky with one win here. They'll keep them in the match for a little bit longer.
So yeah, just holding for pushes. Not going to find any. Misfits playing this fairly standard. Shazam, with most of the info, is actually falling back. I think it's in his best interest to try to just spot as best he can to get some damage in, but he's also got to worry about stairs as the main difficulty about just keeping an eye on bathrooms the whole time, is that someone can creep out stairs on your left as you're scoped up.
Amanek still sitting in this close corner too. He's actually lined up very well, but Elige apparently lined up a little bit better. He's going to be able to instantly headshot him out, knock him down, securing a 5v4 advantage for them, and actually a pretty open A site for the most part, at least from the long direction of things. Short is going to be a little bit more difficult to take. They can get all the way to the edge of long without any issues whatsoever. Now they'll push up to the site. They see the numbers that are here. In fact, everyone is here, and they're all behind Semi, too. Unfortunately, it is going to slowly turn into Lambs of the Slaughter, though, as they all walk out, and 3 out of 4 die within about 2 seconds of them taking those positions. The 4th somehow managed to escape behind the smoke at Dumpster, but he's now falling back to save his gun, as the round is very much over. It's going to be Liquid's 14-3 will become the scoreline.
Certainly, they're thinking about map 2 at this point, as they've decided that they are going to force, and now it's going to be force after force. Sick. Happy to save, though. Take his armor in the next round, have a little bit of extra money, maybe drop his teammate a gun if he's feeling generous.
He's going to have to try and drop 1 or 2 players here if at all possible, though, so he sits back on the other side of the steps, hoping that no one notices him on pushing out. They should be checking for him. Spams in and gets Nitro. It's a bit of an effort, though, to get up there and actually take the AK. He didn't realize that Twist was still sitting at those top walls there. So Twist will take him out, and that is going to be Team Liquid securing a 14th round. Still not adequate enough money for Misfits to really force by here, but more than likely they're going to do it anyway. Let's see. It actually looks like they just upgrade pistols to start. I don't think we're going to see the full investment. They are going to try and take this to round 15 before they fully invest here. So only buying P250s and a Deagle.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Seem.
Oh, Sick didn't even hang on to his CZ. Wow. Okay, so they're that's interesting. So that's good. I mean, you'd figure a team would just, as soon as they lose that round, they're like, all right, well, it's pretty much over. But no, they believe in themselves, so they're going to try to play the long game. I definitely respect that level of discipline. But Liquid are also going to give them respect and not rush or force the issue.
Regardless of JDM still gets the first kill. Twist has to recorrect it after being dinked, but he also takes down Sean, so nice little 5v3. They get going for themselves again. It's not a very uncommon story. We've been seeing this throughout most of the match so far. And it's once again them that have a great advantage to play off of here at the beginning of the round, and especially in a round like this where Misfits have pretty much a minimalist buy. Already down to just these 3 players, and they're all split up for the most part across the map too. Devo, however, is able to make something work out. He gets 1 kill, working in from the flank here. JDM still looking for him.
That's the power of the USB. He's legitimately confused for a bit as to where that kill came from.
Leech makes up for that death of a teammate, though, by taking down Shazam, and also finds the 2nd player outside. Now it's just about tracking down where Devo is, because that kill was a little bit of a mystery. I think they have a good idea, though, that he did come in for the flank, and they should know it now with these shots coming out to that much of a consistent rate. So he is stuck in Playground. This now becomes his tomb, essentially.
He's going to go for that retake.
Easy. He's going to push up over here towards Party, and yeah, that's where they find him. Adelija waiting patiently. He gets his 3rd kill in the round, and Liquid go up to map point. Misfits will be able to pretty much full buy here. However, they now need to run 12 rounds straight.
Yeah. Yeah, and, you know, it's highly unlikely, but at least they've given themselves, like, some kind of chance as opposed to just going for some janky force-up that's fully expected. They don't have a kit to help them out. They don't have an op as well. They've sacrificed head armor for the ability to buy an extra smoke. But all that's resulted in M4s and 5 players feeling a little bit more confident, at least in their hopes in this round.
They're going to push forward. They should have been able to spot the players up on boost, but they're not actually able to figure it out because they don't fully de-stack. I think him shifting to the side actually threw them off a little bit there. They get the first kill. Lige moving in. He's only able to trade 1. So Liquid's still at a disadvantage here. JDM finally holding up, pushing directly through to try and aggressively hunt down these kills. He'll be the one that stops the madness and lets his teammates get in a position over there at long instead. He'll be the one guy pushing in from short here. And the rest of Liquid gets ready for that push as they do with the long players, quickly establishing their own position. Smoke into bank, smoke at the dumpsters. Sick will get pushed back as a molly hits him too, so that's actually going to give the site over. They're not going to have any presence at all here in order to resist at least the plant, but Liquid have to be very careful because there's already a flight coming out against them, and it moves in, knocks out not just 1 but 2 players, and the 3rd. Devo just tapping away at range, completely destroys the remaining count for Liquid there.
Well done. Sounded like Donkey Kong using his ultimate.
Let's take another look at that here. Yeah, we can see him just tapping away.
He's begging on the Congos.
He tried to spray in the middle there, but realized the tap was probably going to work better.
It's working out really well. Don't change a good thing. Don't fix what ain't broke.
So there's round 1. Just 11 more to go now. And Liquid still have a bye for this round due to how dominant they were in the first couple rounds that they were able to pick up to get them up to this point. So We're still going to have this full buy. Maybe another force buy after this too before they find themselves broken and this job gets slightly easier for the Misfits. Or at least the 2 rounds until Liquid find themselves buying again. All right, now Liquid spreading their players out a little bit more. They are still very much looking to go towards A, and it's JDM that gets the first kill here up on the A site. Takes out Shazam. They move forward. Almanac still getting partially blind. They don't see him, though, hiding up at the backside of Semi, and that's the palm drop, too. They're committed into this here. Almanac able to make that position work wonders. They got another guy, Dumpster, here that confuses JDM. Nitro keeping this alive here as he gets at least 1 kill, and a T-Smoke will let these guys back away. But the amount of damage they've taken, it's going to be very rough to re-aggress. They would have to put themselves out in the open in order to do that. His body blocking JDM's vision a little bit, so that's going to let Almanac now go in and get a 3rd kill for this round. He single-handedly so far saved it for his team. Nitro and Stan still alive, however, and Almanac unfortunately over peaks towards long. That will open it up for Nitro, and that is where Team Liquid are going to be able to close out. Just 1 additional round picked up in the second half here for the Misfits, but ultimately Team Liquid do shut it down with a dominant scoreline of 16-4.
Oh, the power of stairs control. They throw a simple fake with a bunch of players using utility at once, and then rocked it back to A, and a kid went into the late round. I think Misfits had a chance there, but Liquid overall were just super good at that game, so yes. Well done.
A quick match, and with that said, we're going to go over to a quick analysis desk segment in order to break down the first map of the second series.
Yep, that's right. Nonconformists definitely drinking the Liquid Kool-Aid here on this one. If you have to look at it, guys, what just happened?
Well, you said the pipes are dirty. I think they're still a bit dirty.
Yeah,
Things got real grimy right there.
I don't think they've been quite properly cleaned.
Yeah. Well, all that aside and all analogies that I could possibly come up with in that moment, you know, it's unfortunate. It looks like, you know, I feel bad knowing Sean. It seemed like the first couple rounds, as one of his ex-teammates, he had a good read. I liked his calls. I liked how they got into A the first couple rounds, and they didn't get the wins on the rounds they should have, and that takes such a toll on the rest of the half. You know, a couple of those were even numbers, and one of them was 4v3, and then Sean, I think 1v2 in those first like 3 rounds, yeah. Right? So it's like when you don't get those early rounds, the rest of the half now becomes like this task of,
yeah, like what am I supposed to do?
If default, I would almost rather get clean wiped, because then it's like a more simple solution. Like, okay, they destroyed us there, they think they're good there, now we could play off that. But that didn't happen. We took the site. It just sucks because they didn't get the rounds they should have.
Well, we want to talk about clean wipes. Let's take a look at round number 4. We do see a retake here. Just a fluidly clean wipe here.
Yeah, so Stanislav, there's a nice retake smoke, and it doesn't completely cover off the front of the bathroom, which is nice because then it kind of plays a mind game with the guy, the T's on short A. And they retake. Liquid showing super good teamwork in these retakes. A on Overpass is actually one of the hardest, you know, sites to retake because the bathrooms and long are so annoying.
Yeah.
Especially because at certain types of the round, like the B players tend to use their smokes and mollies a lot. They're rotating back up and they don't have a smoke, right? But Stan has one, right? So they have that in their game plan.
And they were actually in a good position to win that round at the end. And Sam gets that kill truck. And, you know, as a longtime friend of Shaz, I'll give him a little crap there because he gets that first kill truck and he swings a little wide. Now, he knows his teammate's short right there holding the left side of default. Shaz has space on his left to back up and use that truck to isolate right in front of him, force the CTs to swing on you. He died a little early, and he might have been able to do
all those things matter, right?
They do, and it's not that he's unaware. So, you know, I love to Shaz, but those are rounds that, you know, it sucks they lose.
Yeah, and there are those rounds too that'll just really just kind of just
grind your gears.
Well, not saying when they happen early.
Look,
and you don't have any wipes.
Yeah, you don't have any, you know, good way to wipe it and flush it out there. Let's look at round number 5 now because I do believe you have a 6 strat from Sean Garrett.
Yes, I love this. So this is a front bathroom smoke. A lot of people throw this, but this is a special one, right? And the reason he throws this one is because it blocks off Elige's vision towards long A, right? So if Elige wants to spot Sick and his 2 buddies behind him running up long A, then that means he has to be, you know, on the long A side of that smoke, which means that he's committed towards there. And then Sean and, you know, I don't know who's behind him, but there's 2 people flanking up the bathrooms, right? And they hear all these footsteps long. And look, Sean doesn't even have to clean out Elige because Sick gets 2 dope headshots, you know, 5v3 into a 4v3. This should be locked up right here. 4v3 on the A site. People are healthy. You know, like you got the bomb in the great position. You 2 people at Guardian, a divider.
There's only 2 main concerns at this point. A flanker and then what utility they have to defuse the bomb with. So sure, they could smoke off the bomb and plant. So you want a couple people close, spotting, and then, or hiding, and then 1 guy deep spotting. So right here, Shazam is spotting deep, but then then Sean runs up, and then someone else peeks and dies, and then they literally just get the defuse. So
yeah, so as soon as you have like a super advantage position, I always ask like who has like the immediate peek if you hear like a smoke, you know, dropping right before it blooms. Like who has that to check? Because if you are in a super advantaged position, you might as well check to see if somebody's going to stick it right away. Like one of your buddies on T side should die, making sure that nobody sticks it right away. And it seemed like they all panicked right there and just like peeked all at once.
I think even from a fundamental level, before some of those problems even happened, when you get a plant on Overpass, you have to keep, especially if you have the numbers. If you're down and you have an op, sure, you can go back to bathroom and play those weird. But it's actually happened to me quite a few times where they smoke the bomb and defuse. And a protocol we always remind ourselves of is it's like planning outside on train a 5v5 with bomb train smokes. You're actually more apt to lose if you look at the stats when you're 5v5. So even though you're even numbers and you plant at A, if you let them come up spawn so easily and just smoke out the site, they have a chance at winning because now you're defending from a distance and shooting through the smoke. So keeping those 2 guys close and hiding and the opera's back, I think would have been better. And that fundamental flaw of them all falling back. Lost some rounds, snowball effect, 16-4. It hurts, Trace.
Yeah, I mean, even on round 5 right there, we saw a round that could have potentially, you know, changed the tide of the first half of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Having, you know, had Misfits stop that defuse there.
Exactly. We could have chose later rounds, but those ones
and the one before it. So if they had won that one and round 5, they'd probably be ecoed, right?
Right.
And then I think we have another replay, right?
We even and continue the succession, which is 4, 5, and then 6. Let's take a look at round 6 right now. We got it loaded up for you guys.
So people always like to bemoan the fact of how IGLs can't frag. I want to show Sean Garris here, 7 HP, 1v2. This guy is so clutch. Just watch it play out.
Yeah, it's funny too. I won't talk too much watching Sean though. Let's let it in.
No, I want you.
Okay, I'll keep talking. Sean actually always, contrary to the forums kind of portray him as just like a shot caller, not a lot of huge individual skill. Sean's always actually had pretty like snappy aim with like op and flick shots. So it's funny. He
with 1 bullet.
And 1 bullet hits the guy in the head. And so Sean's always, he used to be a great opper, and his rifles had great flicks. So it's funny because I know he has those abilities. He might not be an entry fragger type, but he definitely has the ability to bear down. He was getting a lot of kills in that game that were big. So.
Bear down. I see what you did there.
I didn't do anything, Trace. What do you say?
Yeah, you're right. What am I talking about? Anyway, looking at that, though, guys, that does wrap up Overpass. So we do go into Mirage next. That's where we're going next. With that being said, is there a clear favorite? Yes or no?
I mean, Liquid have kind of cemented themselves as a clear favorite. Contrary to popular belief, in order to make cement harden up, you need to pour water on it. So that could be Liquid, right? So I think Liquid's Mirage has been pretty good in the past. They beat SK and Astralis on it twice in the past, like maybe 40 days. And, you know, Misfits are not going to be feeling confident here. So I think this is going to be a Liquid win.
You know, Liquid's going to have to mess up mid-smokes or something like that if Misfits want to get some rounds, I feel like, here. I think Liquid's way too strategically sound for a team like Misfits to just come in and throw a wrench in the gears. But if they can, all the more fun. If they prove me wrong, it's more fun for you guys out there. So,
I mean, I don't think it's going to be 16-4 again, right? I think it's going to be a little better than that, but I still think I'd give the edge to Liquid.
Well, the edge will be found, but only after this break. We're going to be going into our last map of the night. We're going into Mirage. That's right. So make sure you're here with us when we come back.
It's not an illusion. It's a Mirage.
Yeah, you're right.
But a Mirage is an illusion.